Hello, and welcome back to my single-player survival world. I'm the Survival Architect, and as you can see from what is in front of me, I have been very busy in between episodes. I ripped down the house that was here. I also spent some time off-camera mining, aiming for copper. Ran around through some caves, did some strip mining. So here's the time-lapse of me ripping down this house and converting the copper ore into raw copper. So I hope you enjoyed those mini time lapses. What we're going to do now is actually jump into a proper one, where we fill in this really ugly looking bowl and then build a proper house in this space here. It'll probably be right on the edge of this path. I'll put my nether portal in it and my enchanting setup in it and some chests to make it kind of look like a starter house. I obviously never used it as a starter house, but I want something in this space to kind of show where I started and then moved over to there. So let's hop into a proper time lapse now where I get this thing constructed, and I'll be back in just a second. Well, that's this house constructed. I like this much more than what was here before. I did spend some time in a creative testing world, just figuring out kind of what I wanted to do, considering that I am not particularly familiar with this deserty block palette that I've used here, but it fits in really well with the rest of the village. I do have to clean up this area a little bit. I'll move some furnaces and some of these chests into this building at a later time. But all in all, I actually really like how this thing looks. Having a bit of depth here with, the classic pillars with the details of the wall set in behind it, the stairs, the fences, and then you've got all the details around the sides, like the benches with plants on them, and then around the back here, this awning with a table. I really like this. It looks really good. I also like what's on the inside. I have used a very expensive block. It was a pain to get, but all of these beehives... Now, these make a really nice pattern, like with the birch in the floor, but I figured that because I'd already used the birch in the walls, or for the exterior, I should say, that I should change up what the block is for the floor. I have moved this nether portal and my enchanting setup in here, so now it's got a permanent home. But all in all, I'm really, really happy with this build. It's turned out far better than I thought it would. This area still needs to have something done with it, and I need to figure out kind of how to make this merge with the terrain a bit better, because right now it just looks like it's been plonked down on the ground, and that's about it. But yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with this build so far. We'll come back to this at a later date, but I'm really happy with this build and this entire desert village area. The other thing that I did in between episodes it was before I built this house over here and filled in the terrain, but the other thing that I did was I mapped out the entire area around our base. So obviously, this is our base. I still need to remove that floating tree there. Yeah, it's currently floating above the base and being a bit of a pain. And this one here too. But I mapped out the entire area. So this goes out a fair way past our base. You can see my charged creeper holes there. You can see the villager area and the animal area that we worked on a few episodes back. But this doesn't really belong sitting in the middle of our village, or no, our starter area. So I'm going to pop through into the base over here and figure out where to put it. Obviously, it's going to live in here in the base, and I'm thinking that because there's not really much room in this space here, like there's a corridor just over there, you can see just here, there's another corridor. So because there's not too much room here, I was thinking of putting the map room at the end of here, and then the other corridor could be the one that gets extended that way. So let's pop into a second really quick time lapse to get this area mined out, decorated, and then ready for some maps. Well, that's a nice cap to the end of this room. This looks really, really nice. I'm actually really liking how this merges in with the rest of the base. The theme is this. Oh, I forgot to do the roof. I'll do that off camera. But yes, it merges really well with the rest of the build and is the perfect place to store some maps. So this is the map that was over in our starter area earlier on today. You can see that it's the exact same, except that the green marker is no longer here, it's up here in the base. I didn't realize we were actually outside the big dark glass thing, but I guess we are. But I have room for 4 more maps here, so in 20 episodes time or something, we'll do another map here, and then another map here, and so on and so forth. I'll do it as I see fit, but yeah, I really like how this turned out. So, for the rest of the episode, once I got that roof done, that'll be done off camera, I am going to be playing with fire, or should I say with some explosions. Now, this guy has been hanging out here for a couple of episodes now. He was he spawned in on day 1 and picked up a bit of dirt, and then got stuck in a manual pointed dripstone farm. So I put him up there because he survived since day 1, and it's been a few thousand days now because I've been AFK for a while. But in this space here, I want to put something a bit more exotic. Something like a charged creeper. Now, you might remember a few episodes ago, we collected some charged creepers up in our main area, and I want to put one here. This is probably going to end really, really badly. So, let's pop out to where I've got the charged creepers stored now, and I'll be back in just a second. We're now over in the desert near the base, where I've got some charged creepers stuck in boats. There's a pair of them over there that are a bit closer, but it's a pair of them, and I don't want to be getting one into a boat, not the other. So, what I'm going to do is release one of these guys, which seems like a bit of a terrible idea. I'm going to release one of these guys and have it follow me back to the base. Now, I've got another boat in my inventory here, and essentially what I'll be doing is I'll be trapping it in the entryway to our base. So, hopefully this doesn't go really poorly, but there's only one way to find out. Okay, the charged creeper has been trapped in the base. It's not going anywhere. It's stuck in a boat. It's been renamed. So now what I need to do is put in another one of these cages, because I realized that I haven't got one yet. This base is still empty, so let me get that set up real quick. I'll be back. Well, the cage has been set up. I've got a staircase here. Now all I need to do is release the creeper and get it up into its little cage. The creeper has fallen into its final position without blowing up once. I am shocked that that's worked. But now I need to somehow get all of this stuff taken down without the creeper blowing up in my face. So, it's been renamed, thank goodness. But I'm just going to pillar up here and see if I can't get all these blocks without the creeper noticing me. The tense bit is over. The charged creeper has been contained in the area above our base. And because of the iron bars, I can fly past it. So long as I don't pass over the top of it, I can fly past it, and I'll be absolutely fine. It won't notice me and blow up. So, we now have Day 1 Husk and Mr. Charged Creeper contained within our base in these little cages. Now, in the future, I do plan on getting more mobs in this base somewhere, but for now, this is good enough. Getting this guy in was a bit of a pain. This one was actually surprisingly easy, but I'm so glad that it's been done. Like, from down here, having a charged creeper hanging out up there is just the coolest visual, as well as the husk up there. And yes, I know It could be done better, but I don't want to do it better right now. These look amazing in here. But yeah, that's this little section done. I'm so happy that nothing blew up. I'm so happy that my base is fine. Yeah, I was quite nervous about this, actually. Charge creepers are notorious for making extremely big holes in your build, so I'm glad that's done. But now, we've got to go over and do some more miscellaneous stuff for the rest of this episode.
Now, something that I've done off camera is I have installed a very annoying item elevator in this this arm here. Now, I've got the same thing in the arm over there, and they're just permanently running because otherwise stuff gets stuck, and it's just a bit of a pain. So what I need to do now is get the carrot farm, which is in that cobblestone box there, linked up to this item elevator so that we can start putting carrots into our shulker sorter, which is down below us in that area there. So I'm going to get that hooked up now, and I'll be back in just a second. Well, I'm back here after doing a little bit of work, and I'm over here because this place just got a lot more annoying. There's about 1,000 dropper noises over here if we walk over, because these are hooked up to comparator clocks, so they're incredibly quick, and then observer towers, which are also quite quick. So these are constantly going because I'm currently clearing a backlog of 2 double chests of carrots, which, yeah, there's a fair few. You can see them flooding through now, and I managed to pick up a few as well. This place got even more annoying, but I've got all the filters designated both up in our shulker sorter, which, as a reminder, is up, no, not shulker sorter, shulker loader, which is up in here. There's 20 modules. And then down below, I've also designated the filters for the shulker sorter. So that's all done. But if we just fly up here, I've already knocked a hole in the top here. But you can see that there's about 1,000 zombies down here because they've just been spawning on spawnable blocks and picking up items. So I'm just going to leave these fellas here. They can keep doing whatever they're doing. They're not causing any problems, so yeah, there's no problems. I'm just going to leave them here. They can be like the resident scientists of this laboratory area up here. That's how I think of it anyway. So that's that little thing done. The next thing we're going to do, I haven't actually decided yet, but it's just going to be a bunch of other small tasks around the base because I am currently incredibly stressed about about some assessments that I've got due. So nothing huge left in this episode, but just some small things. The next thing we're going to build is a sugarcane farm, just a small one, one that'll service me for a fair while. In this space here, currently I'm harvesting my sugarcane and getting my paper for rockets by just smacking out the sugarcane that I've got planted over here. But I'm going to, in this area here, just slap a small sugarcane farm, one that will once again pump up into this area and then down into our shulker saucer so that I have a renewable supply of rockets in the future. So let's hop into a really quick time lapse. It won't take very long, and we'll get this constructed really quickly. I think this is the jankiest looking farm that I have ever built in my life. So essentially, what happens is this observer detects when this sugarcane reaches its maximum height and triggers the flying machine as well as the hopper minecarts that are underneath. And the hopper minecarts collect all the sugarcane that was punted off, which is why this is here. That just sends them off a second time, just so that if there's anything left behind, it gets collected. And this observer also sends off this flying machine. So it flies across and then flies back and collects all the sugarcane. Now I've already got the hopper line that pumps the items up into our shulker loader and shulker sorter already and put together. So I've even done all the filters. So the carrots and sugarcane have filters designated up there and down in our shulker sorter. So despite this looking janky as heck and having everything on dirt and observers and redstone lines everywhere which don't seem to have any meaning, I think this has turned out pretty well. So yeah, let's continue with some other stuff. So it turns out that my item collection system wasn't working properly for this sugarcane farm because I forgot about certain blocks that were in the way. So I have rejigged it a bit. I've put this glowstone up here to stop mobs from spawning and messing with these minecarts here. And also I've got minecarts with hoppers directly underneath the sugarcane there. So just thought I should let you guys know about that. But while I was rejigging this, I realized something a bit strange. So if we come down here, you'll notice that I have a 3 high sugarcane here next to a single block of water. Now, I've got some grass here. If I just fill this water block in, the sugarcane does not break. It only breaks when I update the sugarcane, like so. So what I'm thinking is that I'm just going to put a bit of cursed sugarcane somewhere in my base, and have that as kind of like a monument. Similar to the dragon egg, I have to make a monument room of some description at some point in the future for the dragon egg and some of the books that we've found, but I'm thinking of putting a cursed sugarcane in there too, so I thought I should just let you guys know that that was something that happens, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled stuff for the rest of the episode. The last thing that we're going to do in today's video is we're just going to put some stuff in here. So I've obviously already got the enchanting table and the starter base nether portal in, but I'm thinking of putting some other small decorations in here just to make this place feel a bit more lived in before I end out the episode. And yes, that does also include this upstairs area that I've got in here. So I'm going to do this really quickly and I'll be back in just a moment. I have drastically improved how good this place inside looks. So the first thing I did is I replaced some of the beehives in the floor with this strip oak wood and kind of made like little pathways going to the portal and between the doors, over into this area and over into the enchanting area. And that just makes it feel like there's someone who's been living in this house and, you know, this is the pathway they normally walk. Then I've obviously got some plants over here that just kind of changes the color, breaks everything up a bit. I managed to glitch some cocoa beans onto this log here by breaking and replacing this at the same time. So it used to be jungle and I broke it and replaced it on the exact same frame, and it allowed the cocoa beans to grow there. So they're just hanging out there. I've got a couple of creeper banners left from, and I've got a shield as well, left over from doing this armor stand trickery, which is basically, so I've got a little bathroom showery area here. There's like a shower turning on, and here's the actual shower itself. And obviously the door has been left open because I'm a bit of a slob. But I've done some armor stand trickery here. If you see, I've got the statues book, and I've given them both shields to hold and put them in the dead pose. I don't know why it's the dead pose, but if I just hit check target, it didn't work. Cool. But anyway, this is kind of just like a towel that's been draped over this lightning rod, which is the towel rail. So all in all, I think this has turned out really, really well. But that is all I have for this video recording wise, because I am out of time. So thank you all very much for watching this video. I've had a lot of fun making it. We made a lot of progress today. We constructed the sugarcane farm. We constructed this house, which I can't believe was this episode. We did the interior. Oh, the other thing is, I chucked in some small blossoms because I managed to get some drip leaf off a wandering trader. So there's one in here, and then there's one tucked away up in here, and it just gives these nice particle effects. But yeah, we got some rare items. We constructed the sugarcane farm, this house, and did some more miscellaneous stuff around the area. So thank you all very much for watching. If you like the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. I post every 4 days. I have been the Survival Architect, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one. Now, for those who've made it this far in the video, you probably noticed that there was a change in audio quality halfway through this video. That's because I managed to get a mic. Everything before halfway through this video was recorded using my PC's mic, and then I went out and bought a microphone so that I could make my videos sound a lot better because it was kind of jarring. There was a lot of echo, but now that should all be gone. So hope you guys appreciate that. If you made it this far in the video, drop a watermelon in the comments section. It can be an emoji, it can be the word, I don't mind, but just drop a watermelon. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.